R2 units might have been stolen.
Oh yeah, what makes you say that?
Oh, I stumbled across an old recording. Something about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hey, Baru, get the biscuits out here.
Maybe he means Ben Kenobi. You know what he's talking about?
I said drop it. That droid is our property, okay? Don't worry about old Ben, that stupid wizard.
Yeah, but what if this Obi-Wan comes looking for him? You said Ben. I'm saying Obi-Wan. What's the difference? Are they the same person? Are they?
Go to your room.
Go for it.
Where are those goddamn biscuits? He died around the same time as your dad.
Are you my father?
I told you to forget it, goddammit. Now, tomorrow you're gonna take them droids and get their goddamn memories wiped. I want them on them goddamn condensers by tomorrow morning, goddammit.
You know, I think those new droids are gonna work out fine.
That's good. They better, goddammit.
In fact, I've been meaning to talk to you and Baru about something. And if everything works out in the harvest, you know, I want to put my application in the academy this year.
This year? During harvest season?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, better late than never. Wedge gets to.
Harvest is when I need you the most. Alright, Luke, come on. Now,
I got what we got the droids for.
Fuck those droids. Hey, we need more tartar sauce, Baru. My dad, Klieg, he had a word of advice.
What?
You harvest and you don't go to the academy. Alright?
That's
You know who else didn't want to go to the academy? You know who else wanted to go to the academy was Baru. I put her in her place with a switch. You know, the Hutts, they're gangsters. They wouldn't like that. I owe them money, okay? I need you here. That's what the harvest is for. We gotta pay off the Hutts.
You guys aren't parents.
Why do you like Taji Station so much? What's there?
I wanted to get the NES converter.
Well, Sega does what Nintendo don't. If you leave, it's just me and her. I'll kill her. You stay on for one more season and you can go to the academy next year.
It's a whole nother year.
I know, but I really need you here. This is the harvest time. I need you the most. No, Luke, where are you going?
I guess I'm going nowhere.
Don't wreck the house. No. Luke! Where are those goddamn biscuits?
That's no moon. It's a space station. Shut up, old man! Continuing on with the movie series marathon, we are going to talk about Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Or just Star Wars, because that's what it was in 1977. What a year. I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't even in my parents' mind yet. My brother's 12 years older than me, and he had all the Star Wars toys.
It's Darth Vader, watch out! And he's got a lightsaber.
It's Kenner's Star Wars action figures, each sold separately.
I got you now, Ben Kenobi.
With R2-D2 and C-3PO. There's even Chewbacca and Han Solo.
Someone's coming, Chewie. Who's there? It's Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker. Now I know the Force is with us.
Darth Vader, R2-D2, C-3PO, and other Kenner Star Wars action figures, each sold separately.
I didn't see this film until probably almost the 90s. And I remember I'd always like grab the toys and try to play with them, but he'd always get mad. I should go up to him today and be like, how'd that turn out for you? Now you don't even have them, dummy. Should have broke them right in front of you. He better not see this video, kick my ass. Anyway, Star Wars. This is where it all began. This is actually the first movie. And I know a lot of people who are new to Star Wars would probably be confused that this wasn't categorized as Episode 4. If it was just called Star Wars, you know, people would definitely be confused. I believe it was Episode 4, A New Hope, was added in 1981, like the subtitle for it. But it is about A New Hope. If you're coming off the prequels, that's what this movie is about. Written and directed by George Lucas. He had an idea for a sci-fi film from the concept of Flash Gordon. It was around the time he completed his first film called THX 1138, which came out in 1971, and then of course he did American Graffiti, which was in 1973, and he always talks about how he failed miserably. I believe he told Frank Oz that, how he failed at American Graffiti. Anyway, this is a film that is unique in its own way. They took like Western culture and like fused it together with other culture, like swords, like samurai swords. They turned them into lightsabers, and then you got, instead of guns, you got blasters, like laser blasters. And they can just combine all that together and put everybody in space, and then created creatures and weird environments and robots and ships, and it's awesome. It's like you're in this new world. It's awesome. I like when, the title crawl goes and it says, Once Upon a Time in a Galaxy Far, Far Away. The plot basically focuses on the journey of a young boy named Luke Skywalker, and he is just a farm boy, pretty much. Owen Lars treats him like shit. And, he's like, I wanted to go into Taji Station to buy some power converters. And Owen's just like, screw you. Like, you need to get those droids at the top of the hill by noon, or you're fucked. That's basically what he's saying. And, he wants to do stuff, but he feels like he's just stuck there until he gets to go on an adventure because of Obi-Wan. Owen don't like him. Owen don't like Obi-Wan. You know what? Owen owes him. Okay? Obi-Wan drops the baby off at their doorstep. Owen could have just threw that baby on the ground if he didn't want him. Quit bitching, Owen. God, what a prick. He turned into a grumpy old bastard. He really did. Anyway, focuses on Luke, who runs into Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is a wise Jedi Master, who, they run into the droids C-3PO and R2-D2, and there's a distress signal, and they go find a person who can fly them to where they need to go, and they run into Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford, as well as Chewbacca, also known as Chewie, played by Peter Mayhew. They board the Millennium Falcon and they take off. They are trying to free Princess Leia, played by Carrie Fisher. She's from Alderaan. They blow up her planet because they want her to reveal the plans of what she has, and the Rebel Alliance. You're a part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. They're going to save her from the clutches of the Empire. And they have this planet destroyer called the Death Star, which we see the plans were created by the Genosians in Episode 2. Those were the plans. And again, Darth Sidious was behind this whole thing. So he's going to create it, not the Genosians. He is, okay? So they have the Death Star, which destroys planets, and they're on this adventure to save the princess. The heroes in the League with the Rebel Alliance attempt to destroy the Death Star. And there's so many great scenes. The scene with the trash compactor, that scared me as a kid. I can't even watch it, really. The fact that they're in that trash compactor and the walls start closing in, I'm just like, I'd be dead. I'd scream like a girl in there, honestly. And then there's this creature that pulls Luke under there, under the water. Holy crap. I don't like that trash compactor. I don't like that. I used to have the hots for Leia. I mean, I still think she's hot in that movie. I mean, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. She was a beautiful woman. And I had the biggest crush on her in A New Hope. I like the way she looked in Return of the Jedi with the, bikini. Everyone knows that, but I actually liked her look in New Hope a lot. I just had a thing for her, but she was gorgeous. Yeah, Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin, who basically is, you know, he's the general. He's ahead of everything there on the Death Star. Alec Guinness, of course, as Obi-Wan, who has a fight with Darth Vader, and it's the first fight since Episode 3. That's the last time they met. Even Vader's like, I have not felt this since, and he was gonna say, well, since we were on Mustafar, when he cut off my arms and legs. That's what I remember. Honestly, you know what? Shut up, Vader. Obi-Wan was trying to help you. It's not my fault. You know, it's not anyone's fault that you can't come to terms with that. Anyway, just shut up. So they have a fight, and they're basically too old to even move their lightsabers, it seems like. And, you know, you can't really expect it to be like how it was in the prequels with the fast lightsaber stuff, because this was not only the first movie that was made, so they didn't have that kind of technology and kind of writing when it comes to that. But, you know, back then it was more formal, more choreographed and things like that. And that's fine. But they have a fight, and Obi-Wan pretty much gives himself up and vanishes. After Vader swipes at him, he disappears. So now Obi-Wan's a Force ghost telling Luke what to do in his mind. But you got, like I said, Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, Kenny Baker's R2-D2, the droids. They, you know, when I first saw them as characters, I'm like, wow, these robots are awesome. They just look really cool. They're not CG. They're, you know what? They're really there. Guys in suits. Like I said, Peter Mayhew is Chewbacca, another guy in a suit. He was actually there. David Prowse is Darth Vader. Excellent, even though David Prowse, I think, kind of got screwed a lot of the time, because I don't think he really fit in with the cast. James Earl Jones did the voice. Orson Welles was actually going to do the voice, and I do like Orson Welles as a voice actor. I mean, he did Unicron in Transformers the movie. He was awesome. Dennis Lawson as Wedge Antilles, who's actually related to Ewan McGregor in real life, I believe. I think that's his uncle or something. But Lucas started writing the script back in 1973, and it was actually called The Star Wars. The Star Wars. I actually like it better, just Star Wars. I guess it's, yeah. But yeah, it became Episode 4 New Hope, 1981. It's filmed in Tunisia and Death Valley. Those were the desert scenes, which, you know, Episode 1, Phantom Menace, was filmed around that same spot, well, around the same area in Tunisia. But then, you know, in Episode 2 and Episode 3, I think they got that same... I could be wrong, but I think they got that same, around that same spot that they made Luke's home in Episode 3, or Episode 2 and 3. Had a budget of $11 million, at the box office made $775 million. So, yeah, pretty low budget film. But I don't think, you know, I think at this time, George Lucas didn't really like where his career was going, because he felt like he failed. And this was a new, fresh idea, a take on science fiction. I don't think he was expecting it to blow up this big. I mean, this was like critically acclaimed to where people were so into it and so excited about the movie and what it had accomplished. Like I said, with the characters and the movie sets that they created, and the miniatures and the models that they used with the ships blowing up and flying. A lot of that stuff was just crazy awesome. And some of the camera tricks that they did with the land speeder, how they rubbed Vaseline on the lens to make the wheels disappear, so it made it look like the land speeder was floating. That was a really cool trick. Of course, that was in the originals, but you know, when the special editions came out, they actually cleared that up. And there are a lot of necessary changes In the original Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt has a scene with Han, but Jabba is a man in the original. When they re-released the special editions, Jabba was there as a computerized slug, which how he appears in Return of the Jedi. The thing is, that was a necessary change because it's in continuity with Return of the Jedi. It doesn't make sense how he went from a man to a slug, so it makes sense that way. But I still think he looks like crap. The way he's moving along, you can just tell it's a CG character that doesn't really fit in with the way they shot the film back in 1977. It just doesn't, no matter how much they clear the movie up, it just doesn't fit. I would prefer it if Jabba was like he was in Return of the Jedi. If they would have just had a model sitting on this thing and they could wheel Jabba everywhere, why not do that? I think that would have been better. I know they wanted to show Jabba, he'd be younger obviously, but he'd be full of life and you know, kind of sliding around and things like that. I understand what they wanted to do, but it's just, sometimes you don't need to go that far with CG. It just looks terrible, and I still think it doesn't look that good. Now Han walks over his tail, which was fine, because it makes sense that he would do that. He has a tail. But I just think Jabba looks like crap. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Of course, they changed the Obi-Wan, you know, when he whistles or he does that call, what they call the dragon call or whatever. They changed that. I wouldn't say that was like a big deal. I know a lot of people have a problem with it, but they also, the Mos Eisley spaceport, they added like a creature there. Actually, a couple creatures, and I don't think that was necessary. Necessary on that part. They do show more of Mos Eisley, which was fine, but adding the creatures in there with the people that were already there before, the CG creatures just didn't. It was unnecessary. They didn't need to do that. I mean, the spaceport was full of stuff, and full of enough characters. They just didn't need to. I thought that was just unnecessary. But like I said, you can tell that. You can tell when they add stuff that doesn't belong. And it doesn't belong. The whole Han shot first thing is stupid. I never was on board with that. I could care less if Han shot first or if Greedo shot first. The way they did it where Han like nudges over, like it looks so stupid, like when he's just like this. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Like, even James Rolfe, AVGN says, who cares who shot first? I don't know why that is such a big deal. Like, out of the movie, like, that's like one of the most popular things that people talk about when it comes to Star Wars or New Hope. Han shot first. Oh no, Greedo shot first. Who cares who shot first? Like, honestly, I don't know why people care so much about that. They don't even care about the movie. They just care about who shot first. But yeah, this movie is iconic. This is where it all started. And I can't really say that this got me into Star Wars until... And the movie that got me into Star Wars was Return of the Jedi. That's what got me into Star Wars. Because I watched these... I did watch these in order, because this was the first one I saw. Empire and Return of the Jedi I saw a lot later, but when I saw Return of the Jedi, that's what really got me invested. Then I considered the Star Wars trilogy to actually be one of the best trilogies ever, like ever in cinema history. I mean, there's a lot of trilogies that I consider to be, fantastic as far as, well, even trilogies now, like the Back to the Future trilogy was fantastic. At the time, Indiana Jones was a trilogy, and I considered that to be like a master trilogy until the fourth movie came out. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. But this movie also had one of the greatest themes. The Star Wars theme is probably one of the most iconic themes ever. I mean, you have iconic themes like Jaws, like Halloween soundtrack, Superman. You have iconic themes that people hear and just say, oh, yep, that's Jaws, or that's, you know, Halloween. Star Wars is the same thing. The theme to Star Wars during the scrolling of, you know, the crawl is iconic in itself. So that's something to be said. And I actually have the Return of the Jedi vinyl, the original vinyl, in there somewhere. I'll have to probably display that. But anyway, this movie, yeah, this is where it started. It's awesome. And I know, here's the thing, when it comes to the original trilogy, people will probably say, most people will say that Empire Strikes Back is their favorite. Either that or Return of the Jedi. New Hope kind of gets left in the dark. And I kind of feel like it's underrated in a lot of ways, because people don't really talk about that one as much as they do Empire or Return of the Jedi. So I kind of feel bad for it in a certain way, because it's a great movie. I really cannot really say anything bad really about it. It connects with the stuff that came previously, especially Rogue One, which I'm not going to talk about Rogue One until I'm done with the Skywalker saga. I'm going to talk about those, you know, the other movies later on, even the Ewoks. But anyway, yeah, this movie is iconic, and this is, like I said, this started it. This is where it starts, right here. So let me know in the comments what you think of Star Wars, aka Episode 4, A New Hope. Is it your favorite out of all the Star Wars movies? Is it your favorite out of the original trilogy? Or do you hate it? You can't look at it, you can't even mumble the words New Hope. Let me know in the comments. And stay tuned for my next review, which is Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, or just Empire Strikes Back. Hey, you know, I think one of those R2 units might have been stolen. What the hell are you laughing at?
I couldn't even get through the first part.
Hey, I found Cleek. Oh, I stumbled across an old recording, and you know, it said somebody about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do you know who that is? What's that mean?
It means forget it.
Great. Oh, look at you stuffing your face like always, you fat fuck. Hey, you know, I think something happened to those R2. Oh, I stumbled across an old recording. Something about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hey, Baru, get the biscuits out here.
Talking about someone named Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe he means Ben. Do you know what he's talking about? Yeah, but what if, you know, this Obi-Wan comes looking for him?
He's not gonna, okay? That's a stupid wizard. That droid is our slave now, okay? We can do whatever we want with that droid, okay? We can make it a sex slave if we wanted to. Point is, it's our droid.
I can tell you're not getting any from Baru.
That's your aunt you're talking about, you son of a bitch.
I said Ben. I'm saying Obi-Wan. What's the difference? Are they the same person? Are they?
Go to your room.
Fuck you, Owen. You knew my dad?
I told you to forget it, goddammit. Tomorrow I want you to take them goddamn droids up and get their fucking memory wiped.
You knew my dad?
I told you to fucking forget it. He died at the same time as your dad. He died around the same time as your dad.
I'd like to put my application in the academy this year.
This year?
Is that a problem?
This is harvest time.
That's what I got the droids for. Well, you guys pretend to be smart, but you're not. That's what I got to
Harvest is when I need you the most. I need the slave labor.
I'm tired of being shackled and fucked up the ass.
Listen, we all know you like being fucked up the ass, okay? So don't pretend that you don't. You've just finished this season, okay, of Harvest, okay? This is Children of the Corn. Where are you going?
I guess I'm going nowhere.
Hey, Brew, this needs cleaned up. Alright, I'll make a deal with you, Luke. You stay on for one more season, and then you can join the police academy. You give me one more season on the Harvest, okay?
But it's a whole nother year.
You know I need you around here. Brew's useless. Goddamn, she's basically in a wheelchair. Don't leave me with her, Luke. Don't leave me with Brew, okay? I can't do it. You know. Brew and I haven't even made love in months.
That's what I got you the droids for.
You bring that protocol droid down here to take your place, and you can go to that academy. But I feel like that protocol droid might be gay.
You said you wanted his mind erased. That don't make fucking sense, Owen.
Well, why? I don't want him to remember the butt fucking. All that's here is sand. I'm lonely. Baru, she, you see how she looks. Tell you what, Luke, you go out there and you take care of the whole goddamn harvest this season, alright? I can't do it. You take care of that and you can get the fuck out of here. Where are those goddamn biscuits?